let me woosah because I feel like my laptop and Zoom is trying to play me on tonight.
And then I had to travel from Mexico to here. I got here from Canada, and I was like, I gotta make this meeting, because
I mean, let me sip.
Yeah, so we are tequila. And
I was about to say, bitch, you got 2 drinks.
Oh yeah, I have the mint that I got from the garden. Mint is actually one of my element herbs, so it keeps me grounded in a peaceful trance. So I like to keep the mint around, smell it, use it, eat it, whatever. And the tequila. So
look, mint and tequila. Tequila. To kill you. I don't do it. I don't do the tequila. I leave the tequilas to you. We here.
Yes, I miss you. Oh my God, this is New Year's. Yes.
This is the infamous bestie, because I've talked about you in every damn episode.
It is I.
She is here. This is she. She is you. She is me. She is us. We
and we are here. Oh man, I am so grateful for this interview. I think that this is about to be dope. We definitely, you guys, you don't understand. Like CJ and I talk all day, every day. You would think that we don't, but we do. And we never run out of things to talk about. Never. It's almost like it's every thought. It's like, oh, I just thought about this. Or I need to do this.
It'll be the most random thing. Like the other day, I was like, yo, I want to do this jacket for the next photo shoot, just out of nowhere. Nobody would ever want to be in a group text with us in real life, because we are the people you don't want to group text with.
It would totally be horrible. It would be really, really bad.
Like you just would not know. You would not understand. We're like, what? How? I thought we
went from jacket to Mars to emotional,
right, to politics.
But you have to understand, I'm a Virgo and she's a Gemini. We're both ruled by Mercury, so our communication is phenomenal together. Like we communicate, we agree. Not every Gemini and Virgo is the same and gets along. We are one of the people that understand who we are.
We are the level-headed ones of our,
and I think
our tribe, of our astrological tribe.
Of course, some more tequila. I think that it's because we have been through so much of imbalance, and CJ has always balanced me out, whether I wanted to listen or not.
Whether she wanted to balance or not, essentially it worked out.
There's a lot of tears involved. Like being a best friend is literally a marriage. It's coming with all the baggage that we have together. So I'm happy to be here.
Our friendship literally started off like everywhere. You know how you be friends with somebody for a couple years and then you start going through stuff? Like we started going through shit right away.
A lot of it has to do with, I have a great relationship with God. I am 100% team God. I bring God in everything I know. I've been that way since day one. I will always be that way. So when I met her, some things just make sense. You don't have to question it. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to pray about it. Some things feel right here. And whenever you feel that, that's God telling you that it's right. It's something that no one else has to affirm. God put us together and then was like, hey, this is forever. So let me go ahead and throw some things at you to build this friendship, build it up to where it needs to be, and is the strength and the foundation it needs to take to do that. It's like your roots. The leaves are here. Leaves are beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Leaves are gorgeous.
Yeah,
the leaves
but they change with the season.
They change with the season. The leaves are here to help you realize what season it is. Don't get too attached because leaves do fall off, and they have to. You taught me so much that what my grandfather taught me back in the day, and I had to pick up later in life. I had that balance, and then I lost that balance when I lost my balance, which he was my balance. It was just me in the world, dating people and living the way I wanted to live and not living in my purpose. And then that's when I met Robert. I knew I was gifted before, but then Robert brought it. And then when Robert fell off, I think God was like, hey, I can't have you not having something of the substance beside you. And then you were my substance. So
I'm happy I can help.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
May all our pain be champagne. Listen.
Cheers. Cheers. It's been one of those that it's been that whole week.
It's the fact that you had a whole moment and then said fuck it.
Kill this right here. I
I wish I had a mimosa right now.
I wish I was edible right now.
Man, listen.
So
So I'm 6 episodes in, and I will say 6 episodes ago, I was not expecting this. Like, I'm really doing YouTube. We are going to talk about our spiritual growth and our spirits and finding our spirits and who we are, because right now we are both in the midst of a chakra alignment fasting weeks. It's supposed to be 2 weeks. Candace is extending it. I'm debating on extending it. I think I might need to go ahead and finish it out with you and just keep going. Within this time, we have been like really just meditating every morning. Shout out to all of our friends who have been joining in too, like trying to get their chakras aligned.
Thank you,
like
City.
You know, I'm sorry, City. I love you, girl. I haven't gotten a chance to call you yet, but I want to call you. I want you to give me updates on how everything is going. Shout out to all our friends that have been in here. T and Shay, our friends that are out in Motherland in Africa. We love you. We need to get y'all in on the Zoom. We need to get y'all in on Power Cut so we can talk about some meditation. We're gonna figure that out. Very, very, very much love to all of our friends who have been joining in on this spiritual journey with us, because we are going into 2021 right. So with that being said, this is Power Cut episode 6, Finding Your Spirit. You were brought into it, person of substance, which it usually starts with that. It always starts with a person to pull you into that realm, into that world of spirituality, because it's very in-depth. You mentioned a lot about your friend Robert, which is the person that really, I guess you could say, is really the person to open you up to this other world.
After my grandfather died, I hit a pivotal point of what I now know is a form of depression. And that depression consisted of drugs. That depression consisted of, I'm not going to be tied down to anything, rebellious attitude, trusting in people that I thought was good for me, that wasn't. But I can say when he died, my heart was broken. And so I was just doing shit to do shit. You know, I wasn't really living my full potential and my gift. And I don't think that that's healthy in general, you know, because I was running from something. I don't know what it was. Robert kind of came in, he noticed a couple of things, and he just sat me down, confided in me about what I need to do, the direction, and finally he helped me understand who I was. That was the open.
As you would consider spiritual gifts, were around me from when I was a child. It was one of those things. It's different when it's not really around you. I wasn't afraid of it. I was aware of it. I just wasn't open to it. I didn't understand what was going on. Now, fast forward, 19 years old, I just had my son, my first child, and I met a close friend of mine. I don't even remember how we got into the conversation. We just started talking about spiritual stuff, spirits, and all kinds of stuff. She's a Jamaican woman, so Caribbean based. I feel like the spiritual is more there within the culture than it is, you know, for someone like me. I grew up in a Christian household. When I met her, we were having a conversation. Somehow we got into it, and then we were on our way from South Street. I'm from Philly, so when I say South Street, you don't know what it is. I'm from Philly. So we were heading down South Street. We used to like to take long walks and stuff like that. We're having this conversation. So there is a couple of stores down there, Garland of Books. And it's like I would say a light spiritual store. So it has, you know, books, obviously, you know, incense. It has like an array of stones, precious stones, you know, different things like that, little statues or whatever have you. Nothing heavy, just, you know, a light spiritual store. And so we walked in. Now that we're into this conversation, we walk in. It's like a discovery moment. It's like, girls, you too? Like, yeah, this is my experience. This was your experience. This is my experience. And so just in having that conversation, it opened us back up spiritually to our gifts. As you go forward, we started getting deeper into our gifts.
Gifted people and spirits were used back in the day to heal individuals. There was never a doctor. There was always a person that they went to say, hey, this person is sick. Can you please help? And that was our tradition, because a lot of white doctors and European doctors were not allowed to help us too many times.
Eventually got to the point where we realized that the one store we kept going to wasn't enough. We are now in a deeper rabbit hole in our gift, and we want to understand it more. So we came across that store and we decided to go in. Upon going, we both met 2 separate people who became our spirit guides. James, if you're out there, contact me. I've been looking for you. But we both met our spirit guides who help guide us in our gifts and understanding who we are and what we're capable of doing. And it gets more in depth. That's when I started learning about the Orishas, those African deities and other spirits and deities and angelic deities. In this particular space, you have to respect. It was a balance. Being in there, finding our spirit guides and connecting with them on a regular basis helped to bring out a part of us that we never knew. So fast forward, we discover something that's a big part of our purpose. Fast forward, it's now a very major part of who I am.
Right.
I have discovered myself, and it's not something that you accept. Well, I'm not going to say it's not something you accept to let go, because people do let go of their gifts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some people do block it out, because when I came to that point of moving to LA, I did put a lot of it on hold, because a lot of my purpose, I feel, within that gift is helping other people. And I was in a space where I'm moving to the opposite side of the country, for that matter. I have no family there. I have no one that I know there. Nothing. I may have known a couple people. There's no cushion. I don't know anyone, like that. I need to be focused on what I'm doing here. So I'm going to kind of just suppress a little bit, I think is the proper word to use. So I've suppressed my gifts for a while and focused my spirit on my movement there and making sure that I was doing what I needed to do to be there and everything like that, in which, as you know, we have gone through a lot. You have people that come out there, you have people that moved out there, but essentially, for the most part, when you first got to LA yourself, which I met you when you freshly moved to LA, you ain't had nobody over there. So you were focused. You were there for something. You know what I mean? So it became a movement.
The sucky part is I have family here. I have an aunt here who's a cousin, a distant cousin, but not really, a district attorney. And then I have another cousin, Desiree, who lives in Orange County. I don't think they've seen me since I was small. So when I moved here,
it's like strangers.
It's really like, who is this person?
I ain't even got no distance out there. Shoot, I would have called a distance cousin real quick, like, let's get acquainted, honey, because I'm here.
I didn't really ask for much. The only child, I was the only grandchild growing up. My mom had me at an early age. My grandfather took the sole role into being the male figure in my life, because, he felt like he manifested me. He felt like I was his responsibility. I still was always that one that was laid back. I didn't really begin to be more vocal. I had a temper, for sure. I didn't begin to be.
I have brought her a long way.
And people who actually saw me when I was small, they're like, she's a sweet, like, she never did say shit. It's like, yeah, because I didn't feel the need to, like, sometimes I think I was more mature than a lot of kids because of how I grew up. When you're the only child in a house full of old people and elderlies, you just think
you just be old.
And you're looking at these kids like, this is petty. Like, this is, and little do you know, you're the same age, but you don't feel like that inside. You're like,
right. That's
what I realized too, that I might have been a little different. And then I used to have these dreams about snakes all the time. Now, you guys, snakes are my totem. Snakes are not a bad thing. They are, in a lot of cultures, they're very wise. In biblical times, in Christianity times, they made snakes to be evil. They're very much a spiritual guide for a lot of things that helps you. But no, spirituality and you and I connecting definitely had to happen. A lot of people have fell off, and those were the leaves.
And some branches, because you do have the branches of the tree who are around a little bit longer, but they're weak. And then you have the root of the tree, which are the people that are around for years at a time. Our friendship has been a journey, and for the longest, this one here, he was in it, but she was like, I'm not crossing this line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm spiritual, I believe, we God, we pray, we doing all, but all this other stuff here on this side right here, I'm not going in there. And I'm like, yo, I'm telling you, you're gonna be killing it. I'm telling you.
You know what it was?
We're gonna chill right here. I got you, CJ, but we're gonna stay on this side. And I finally got her behind the hop over on this side with me. And now she just sees stuff. It's a whole new world.
So don't get me wrong, you guys, everybody watching this. I am not in any shape or form scared of growth, of who I am. I have seen people of CJ's stance, like my grandfather, CJ, Robert, remember my grandfather's aunt, her name was Aunt Annie. And Aunt Annie was different. I knew she was different. I just didn't know how. So Aunt Annie, we used to go visit her. Every day my grandfather would take her lunch. He would drive over there around noon. He would ask me if I wanted to go. If it was the weekend, usually I was in school. Everything in the house was different. I felt different when I went in there. I realized like, wow, she was onto something. And she used to talk to him and tell him good stuff. I remember listening one time, conversations that they would have in private. I remember him listening. I remember him sitting down on the couch and really, really digging into what she was saying. And she would talk real low and she would get close to him. And I used to always think in my mind, is she speaking, like, is it a secret? You know, like, what is she really telling him? Like,
you be leaning in with her?
Oh, we grew up in an era where, kids stayed in their business. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, kids had to, they had to go over there. What I realized is, it's not that I was scared, it's that watching people open that door means you're ready for that responsibility. I knew after meeting you and being more mature and being serious about where I'm going in life, that if I opened that door, I had to be ready for the responsibility that came along with that. I had to be ready for people falling off. I had to be ready for the success that came along with it, the looks, the thoughts. I had to be ready for my own personal growth. I see a lot of posts on Facebook and Instagram, and a lot of people say a lot of things, but are you really ready for that responsibility that comes along with what you're asking for? At least I was mature enough to know that I don't need to open that door unless I'm ready for responsibility that comes along with it. I don't get into relationships until I'm ready for that responsibility that comes along with it. As people think that I may be free-spirited and I don't think about certain things, I'm never going to tell you I'm going to do something unless I'm ready for the responsibility that comes along with it.
Right.
Once I cross that door with you, you made me grow up in that sense. You made me become a woman in the mundane life and the spiritual life. The mundane life is just what we wake up and do. For those who are watching that don't understand, the spiritual life is what happens that moves you in certain directions. The success, that connection with God, you have to elevate to that higher level. And to elevate, your mind has to be ready for that. If you're not ready for that, which most of you aren't, most of you are not. You do a lot of this, but you're not ready for what comes along with it. And that's even for myself. So I knew I wasn't ready. So I stayed beside you and I watched you. But at the same time, I'm like, hey, I don't know if I'm okay with that. And I kept telling you that I don't know if I can handle what it is. And you kept reassuring me.
And it's not something that could be force fed. You can't force feed that into anybody, or a person can get all scrambled up. So although I kept saying, girl, I'm telling you, it was more so me just trying to promote it. I encouraged it strongly.
She planted that seed. She did. She planted that. I was in a relationship on and off for a long time. You have to marry someone who understands you, or else you're going to live a life you weren't meant to live. And a lot of you out there are living lives that you weren't meant to live. That's not what God had for you. And a lot of you are afraid to live that life because you became comfortable in this other life that you created for yourself, the sympathy, the hurt, the pain, the fear, the emptiness. And you found somebody who fed off of that emptiness. And you said, okay, so this is home. That's not home.
Then you be wondering why you're miserable.
Home is, most people who with a conscience wake up and you get tired of living a life that you know for sure is not you. And that's what happened with me. And CJ stood by me and guided me like, hey, and I get angry. I do, because I'm trying to prove something. I'm trying to prove something. Don't start. So I'm trying to prove something, but she's like, what are you proving? Are they here with you? Are they watching you? I'm watching you bust your ass. Most people who are like that are just people. She's guided me through this whole process. Then one day I woke up and I was like, you know what? I give up. I give up, God. I give up. You win.
You decided to let that control go. And that's exactly what it's about. It's about losing control. I've always been a kid of curiosity. But I may have been very quiet about it.
How old are we though? How old are we? We're still in our 30s. Everybody take note. We're still in our 30s. We're sitting here telling you before we reach 40, 50, and we wake up and it's late and we stuck in this relationship, we stuck in the situation, we stuck in the job. We got it together now because we saw friends this age, no offense, love you. We see friends this age and we're like, ain't no way.
That ain't it. That ain't it. I was always a kid of curiosity, was always either too fearful or embarrassed to say anything. And then me being a creative is another thing. So, it's just, the world is very wide range in the world of creativity, in the arts and everything. So as I got older, when I got to that age where I was able to enter into a space with a friend who thought the same way, it created a home base that was comfortable for me to explore that. But you have to get to a level of being comfortable and understanding and loving yourself.
I used to have that. Like, people used to tell me all the time, they're like, Candace, you're just weird. They used to be like, you guys are weird, or you ever get that? Like, you're weird. I'm like, you're weird. Like, you.
that was never me. I just kept my quiet weirdness to myself. But after I released all that, man, it's just, my journey had become what I would call just the journey of truth. It has been my journey ever since I opened myself back up. I don't attach myself to anything, to be quite honest. I connect with the things of my ancestors and the things that have worked for me through life. I don't obligate myself to anything because life changes, you grow, spirit changes. Just understanding the Orishas in general and having my love and respect for them.
Right.
When I went to Cuba, it opened up that door even more. So I have to go back and get my heart from Cuba, but I urge you guys, travel to the motherland, travel to Africa. I don't care what you hear and see on TV. That's the media. They're showing you what you want to be shown. Guys, get off your ass and go.
First of all, shout out to our friends who are in other countries. Shout out to T.
Yes.
Shay, shout out to Camille, shout out to Candace Green, Camille Green,
yes.
And
shout out again to ZD1, who is from Ghana, who is on my song, Honest, who will be appearing on the EP. Listen, and Shay and T, we coming to stay now. I'm gonna pack these kids up, okay?
Eris is already ready. Eris packed actually, she was 1 day old. She started packing. She was like,
listen.
I don't know. I missed the bus somewhere. I'm back here.
So, Eris was born. She was looking around like, did I get off the right stop?
Yeah, she did.
So what? All right. She didn't like me at first. My daughter did not like me at first.
She was my friend though. That's why snag your shoes.
But now she don't let me out of her sight. She like, I guess you my mom.
To be our age, I feel like I'm proud of where we've become. We have went through some business people. If she started laughing, how bad it is.
That's another story for another video, okay?
I had my grandfather in me, and one day I woke up and I was like, I don't want to be 50 and 60 or 70, wondering why other people's energy and problems kept attaching themselves to me and dwindling my shine. We don't have to practice what we practice. You don't have to do what we do. But common sense should kick in. That little nudge that God gives you, because whether I fail or I win, I'm going to be happy that I tried.
Yeah.
Me allowing the wrong energy and the wrong type of people, that hinders your growth, your success, in your business. Yeah. There's a reason why Beyonce don't work with everybody. There's a reason why Jay-Z don't go just be like, hey, come to my house. How many rappers have said they can come to Jay-Z's house? You can meet them outside of their ordained area, but you cannot come to their house inside their sacred place, inside their heart and life. Some people are not accessible. So when you start being serious about your life, that's when you become a lot more picky about who you let into your life and your circle and your home. And that's not to be funny. That's in some
energy travel. As much as I like little dinner parties and stuff like that, I very rarely like people around in my home.
Absolutely.
Now, if anything, I'll throw something in the backyard and everybody can go around the little side part of the yard and go in the back. Like, I don't, because people bring energy. I'm not with it.
I think that's the Gemini in you. Because my aunt did not like people. It's like, she barely wanted us over there. So it was a privilege when I... And her and I aren't really talking right now, but you're not really into.
I'm also aware that people bring energy and spirits with them.
Like,
it's the other thing too. I'm not going to disown that. Okay, I'm not a big people person. Okay, I'm not a big people person. It's also the.
So no, everybody listen to what she just said. She said you can go around the side of the door. Go in the backyard. Follow the yellow brick road. I laid it out for you. You can't come. No. There's a sign up that says no. You can't come inside. Like, you can't invite nobody over and say, hey, no.
What? My mom do it. My mom got a backyard, and then in the summertime when she had her real big, and she loved hosting stuff, when she got her real big things or whatever, the only time you come in the house is if you gotta go to the bathroom. And we got a little bathroom right. You come through that door, and there's a bathroom right there.
You guys, let me put it in layman terms for you. I'm trying to buy a house, right? No, you guys, listen to the story. I'm getting my shit together to buy this house. One day I'm texting CJ, and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to have my first dinner party. I was like, I love dinner parties. And I was like, this is how I'm going to decorate it. I'm just being free. She says, no. Nobody's invited. And I was like, I thought I was buying the house. It's like I thought it was my house. You don't want that, do you? You don't want that, do you? You don't want that in your CJ. Yes, I want a live band. I want a pianist, and I want a violinist, and I do. I want a dinner party.
All at the same time.
No, she said, well, people you don't know, or people. She tried to just organize so this is random people, or this is us, like two people. Like, these are my kids, your family, your aunt, your grand, like who? Specify who. And I was like, well, family, like I'm dating someone or their friends. Who friends? Like she's like, with us. Like, no, nobody's coming over. And I'm like, yo, what? Like,
all I'm saying is you can't have a lot of people at your house.
When I realized how serious she is about not inviting people over, that as her best friend, it trickled down to me, I was like, so apparently we're both buying this house. We're living together. Our house. And
I'll lay the ground rules for this house right now.
So needless to say, I'm not having a dinner party, everybody. So
she can have a dinner party. All I'm saying is everybody got to be outside. Ain't no reason for nobody to be going in the house.
Basically, the dinner party I had in my mind ain't happening. She already
not on the inside. Because guess what? When it's all said and done, you're going to be like, well, yo, the energy's a little off of here. You know why? Because you had too many people in the house. Somebody that left their little spirit back there when they left. Take these little motherfuckers with you when you leave.
And I love it because I had to stop texting about the house because I realized that I wasn't winning this conversation. You realize you're not winning. I was like, well, what if, in my head, I was like, well, what if I'm dating someone or I'm with somebody and they want to have, which is possible, and they're like, hey, let's have a dinner party, babe. And I'll be like, no, CJ said we can't. It's like, that's
all right. I'm going to be at the door. I'm like, you on the list?
No.
Who you know in here?
You know.
You know somebody in here?
How long you know this? Okay, well then you can't come in, baby.
How long did you know this person? You just met them. Get out. I'm gonna have to bounce you.
So everybody, she's serious about the house thing.
You know why it has to be this way? Let me defend myself.
Okay, go ahead.
The reason why is because let's say we have this party and like I said, somebody leave their little spirits behind because people do that. Right. Who you think is going to be the person to get the phone call, talk about, hey, we got to clear this up? What do you mean we? I told you to have them people outside. No, you want to bring people in the house. now we got to clear up.
There's an issue and I need some help. Yes, you're right. You're going to be the first fucking person I call because I'm like, oh my God. Like you did. Lord. So needless to say, I'm not having a dinner party until I make a list and send it to her.
Just know that the dinner party's going to happen in the summertime and everybody's going to be outside.
It's going to happen at Airbnb because apparently she's not going to allow
nobody Airbnb. Here's the thing. Because I want to host like a great Friendsgiving dinner. Like that's, I want to do that. But I'm not doing it at my house. So when you get the invite, all you folks out there, just know that when you come and you ooh and ah in this beautiful house, it's not mine.
Not mine.
I rented it.
Like, you don't know where I live at.
You're not coming over my house.
That is so hilarious.
I don't even allow. And then first of all, can you imagine somebody would have to be at the door for first of all, making sure everybody take their shoes off. Because you know how we do. I don't even allow people in my house without shoes.
No shoes.
Shoes come off at the threshold.
And no shoes in the house.
It was like that in the studio. Anybody that had been to my studio, everybody knows, take your shoes off at the door. We filmed a whole interview. Shout out to Dr. EJ. Everybody had the shoes off. This is why I edit. This is why I edit. Here you go. Let's talk about purpose because it's late and I need to go to bed. So,
AKA, she don't want to deal with my shenanigans.
With all that being said, we have shielded a lot because honestly, this is a world that we know that we have to baby step people in, which is okay. This spiritual world comes with purpose. I feel when you get to a certain level in your spirituality, you become a teacher. And the same way that I have encouraged my best friend here to grow in her spiritual gifts and to be able to open up, she is now at a point where she's doing the same for other people. And it naturally comes out when people come to us with issues, we kind of work as spirit guides.
See what I'm saying? You got to come with responsibility. They don't listen. People don't want to hear.
They don't. But see, that's a learning thing for us as well, because I had to learn that when you get to a point you don't listen anymore, and I realize you don't listen, I have to stop. I'm not going to keep pushing you. I'm not going to baby you.
I have to speak on this. TJ, you have so many, and they haven't even realized it. People are so used to being lied to. They're so used to lying to themselves. Seriously, because this is getting out of hand. This is getting way out of hand. Because day in and day out, I have seen it happen. TJ has told people stuff and they just didn't listen. And I've watched it happen. I've watched the whole transition in front of my eyes. Has it happened within a month or 6 months? Oh, absolutely. But what happens is, according to the human mind, this is where all my psychologists are watching, or people who are dealing with the mind. I'm not that person, but CJ and a couple others, even an ex-friend I used to talk to, kind of, sort of. When you deal with people in their mental state, people will actually convince themselves of the outcome, knowing it might not turn out that way. I've done it. You've done it. There have been multiple people who have made up entire stories so they can believe what the story is, instead of knowing what the actual truth is. You have implemented this in your personal life, where your own healing needs to come in a journey in your parental life. Our parents did it to us. This is what I say. When people are gifted, people like her, not everybody, don't let everybody in your business, even people who claim to be spiritual, have a feeling for
Some of them
yes.
just messy, honey. Some of them is just messy.
Shout out to Autumn. Hi, Autumn.
Hey, Autumn.
Another amazing hoodoo witch that we give you all praises. We give CJ all praises. Of people who held it this long, who I've only opened that door for a little bit, and it's already like, I'm already at a point where I text her, like,
mind blown.
How did you do this for so many years? They don't listen. How did you have the strength to be like, just sit back and watch them sabotage what you told them was going to happen, only for them to pretend like you didn't tell them? That gets to me.
It's a part of your growth. That was something that used to get to me a lot, actually. And then that's when I was taught to do my part and let it go. If you don't, you tend to attach yourself to that situation. Now, it's different when it's someone that I love. You are my best friend. So therefore, you're going to get a whole lot more out of me than I would someone who just so happened to cross my path for the purpose of receiving that message or receiving whatever. Tread lightly and blessed traveling and blessed journey, and it's up to you to do the rest.
I'm in that chapter. I've been through that, and I'm going through that right now. For me not to listen and it only to backfire after you told me it was going to backfire. And like, it blew up. You probably shouldn't trust that person. And then I was like, okay, and like actually owned who I was, like everybody else, because it didn't happen 5:00 the next day, because it didn't happen on Thursday after the business deal. I thought everything was sweet. One day, it was a whole bomb that I had manifested. And all she did was help me pick up the pieces and be my friend. And what I'm saying is, friends are going to pick up the pieces, but it's not fair to use people who do have gifts. You can only do it so many times. And shout out to Candace and all our friends, Siobhan, everybody who's helped me or any of us the pieces, because it's frustrating watching your friend go through shit after you told them that it just it might not. Like, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, which is that little part of my grandfather in me. That was the pivotal point in my life where I just drew back. God, you're right. I have to give in. I completely started the meditation process. I began paying attention to Autumn more, to CJ more. I began to listen more. I began to become a student all over again. And this is the result. And now we're here. I'm stronger. I'm amazing. And I'm so glad I got this before I was older. I have a lot of great things going on. We did it.
Episode 6, y'all. We at number 6. Like, I'm really out here.
Sway with it, sway with it, sway with it. Hey. That's my book.
We are in it. Episode 6. I had to get my best friend on episode 6. It's about to be a turn up. It's about to be a turn up. Ugh.
You are so old when you do these dances.
When you do these,
you know, like when you do these,
because all the dance is right here in the shoulders.
all of the show. If you're watching and you supported us in the Anthony Perry Senate, thank you. Thank you so much.
And now we on the next role, mayor.
He is running for mayor. You guys tune in. Hit me up on my email. I'm sorry, evans@perry.org, anthonyperry.org.
Yes,
and she's going to include.
And everything that you need to know will be linked in the description so that you are able to find out more and do more research and learn more and everything you need to know about CANDACE and the campaign and Cleen Market, healthy eating, love your life,
lifestyle.
It's the lifestyle. Yes. Health is wealth, ladies and gentlemen. We in here. This is episode 6, and we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks again for tuning in, y'all, to Power Cut.